The federal government has expressed concern over the recent decision by the United States to impose stricter visa restrictions on Nigerian citizens, deeming the move unfair and disappropriate. Effective July 8th, the U.S. Department of State announced that most non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas for Nigerians will be limited to a 3-month validity period with a single entry, a significant reduction from the previous 5-year multiple entry visas. The federal government argues that the decision is misaligned with principles of reciprocity, equity, and mutual respect that should guide bilateral engagements between friendly nations. Nigeria has urged the United States to reconsider the decision in the spirit of partnership and cooperation. Well, we know that diplomatic engagements are currently on the way to resolve the issue. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, met with Richard Mills, the United States ambassador to Nigeria, on Wednesday in Abuja. The minister said that they, had a constructive meeting and both countries agreed to strengthen collaboration. So we'll follow up on that. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump hosted leaders from 5 West African nations, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal at the White House on Wednesday. The discussions primarily focused on strengthening economic development, trade, and investment opportunities between the U.S. and these African countries, as well as security cooperation. While a video that has now gone viral from the meeting featured the moment President Trump asked Liberian President where he learned how to speak English. Let's take a look.
We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. That's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly.
You know why this video went viral, right? Our favorite international correspondent, I'll come to you on this story. I mean, we've seen different excerpts from this meeting with these 5, leaders from these West African countries. I mean, when this meeting was announced, there was the conversation whether or not Tinubu was invited or wasn't. But me, I would say that if our president was there are some good sound bites that we will get from it. That's all I want to say. I trust our president. If he was there, sorry, I'm not shading any president. But when you hear things like the Senegalese president saying, please come and play golf in my country, and you hear these sorts of things. But Donald Trump here, is he learned or not? Like, how can you ask a president where he learned how to speak such good English? Go ahead.
I think so. It's a terrible faux pas, right? Because as we discussed earlier, it shows that he's not even aware of the history of Liberia. Yes. One, that it's an English-speaking country. And then the ties Liberia actually has to the United States. Their flags are actually very similar because of the ties. So it is laughable to some extent. Yes. But I do think, as I was saying earlier, that yes, this is an example of just a lack of respect and just, as you said, a lack of learnedness. You should know better. You should literally know better. But I do think that this could have been a situation where, because so many other of the leaders were speaking different languages, that when the president of Liberia spoke, perhaps he was taken aback by the slight American accent. Who knows? But that being said, and it's not, I don't want to make a habit out of it because, let's not do that. But I think just to balance it out, like perhaps, because when we were listening to the international feedback, a lot of people were very offended, and rightfully so. And he had the White House come out and say that what he was trying to do was extend a compliment, not that he was trying to disrespect or denigrate the languages spoken on the African continent or the president himself. But, as my colleagues will say, they were not happy. Many people were not happy with the general outing of all of the different ones. And I agree with you. If our own president was sitting at that table, he wouldn't have accepted that as a compliment.
Deals would have been made right there and then. Just in 5 minutes, Rufai, you're smiling. Just quick comment, then we move to the next story.
Femi, I appreciate you so much, but that was just insult. That was condescending on us.
Complete.
The truth is,
I mean, the sort of
just
comments,
like me
I
going
can't
there
even bring them
Trump,
out. Yes.
Because really, if I met President Trump, I could have also asked him, how did you become president? Like in an America where the last president was senator for so many years, international policy person. The president before that was an Harvard graduate. You had the likes of Clinton. I'm not saying they don't have their fault, so you had cerebral people. But how did you, Trump, become president? Because you look like an aberration among the lot of them all.
And how do you think he would have replied to you?
So that's exactly the way what he said to Liberia president looked like to me.
Yeah.
Because
so why do you think the Liberian president didn't respond in the same way you think Trump would have responded to a question like that?
What did the Liberian president say? He said, thank you, sir.
I don't think he heard him.
He said, thank you, sir.
And I don't think he heard him. He said, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I don't think he heard what he said.
He heard it, but the subservient nature of the Liberian president, the next thing, he said, thank you, sir, for a man that is older than.
I don't think
he said thank you, sir. That's what he said. So it's just like me saying, how did Trump become president?
Yes.
Because it fits. It's a
That's
valid
what you should have said, actually. When you asked me, how do you speak English so well? I don't know. Why did you tell me how you became president?
With due respect, African leaders, now for their people, they get power now.
Oh no.
It's on their people. Look at Ruto telling people to go and shoot at his citizens at the leg. Yeah. It's only on their citizens they have power. When they get to the White House, they're not born the Liberian president where to talk back to Trump. That's the problem of colonialism, is the mindset. Femi, we're not both saying it on air that you see that if you get to the airport today, an average Nigerian, the way they are so nice to a white person is different from the way they will treat you, fellow black person.
Yes.
It's colonial mindset.
In the supermarket, everywhere.
That's just what we are saying. They're not born away to talk back.
In countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, we still have a large white population. We even have, nationals who are white, white Zimbabweans and white South Africans and so forth. And this is one of the things that you would find in school specifically, is that there's some white families who you'd go up and you'd greet them. Maybe one of the white kids is a friend of yours, and you'd go and greet their parents, say, "Oh, good afternoon," and they're, "Oh, you speak such good English." And you're going to the same school, and you're going to the same school as their children. So it kind of echoes this. If you've ever been on the receiving end of racism and racist slurs, racism these days is no longer what it used to be. It's no longer out. It's very subtle, very just little moments that would make you walk away and think.
Chip it in nicely. It was so condescending.
It was
extremely
condescending. It's a compliment, but it was condescending.
No, it was very condescending.
This was condescending.
It's an admission that you don't think that he could speak English. And why would you assume that he couldn't speak English? And
Liberia is an English-speaking country.
No, I think he assumes he can speak English, but the assumption is that if you're an African, your English should have K-leg.
I mean, I can't even make an excuse, but I really appreciate your excuse. You really did a good job. No, for him. You're not accept. Hey, did you notice that she did not support Donald Trump? But you know what? Yesterday was the meeting. I guess we'll get more excerpts from some of the whatever bilateral relations that they've.
Expecting too much.
No, I'm sure that there will be. I mean, we cannot put down our African presidents too much. I'm sure that we'll get some more conversation. They should come home. I'm sure they will. This is my own benefit of the doubt. Why not?
I know.
All right.
They put themselves down, not us. It's not us now. What we are just helpless citizens that they can use police to harass on the road now.
We'll get more. But like I said, I'm sure if Jagaban was there, it would have been different.